The CPI report, Child Protection in Iowa, brought to you by Vocal, Victims of Child Abuse Laws. You can watch our program on Mediacom Channel 15, Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. Again, it comes on Wednesday evening at 9:30. This is our email address, vocaliowa@mchsi.com. My telephone number is 276-3956. We take phone calls from parents that are hurting, that are losing their children, or receive abuse reports written up against them, and we try to encourage them with our 20 years of knowledge experience. John's number is also area code 515-282-2672. My name is Don Bergmeyer, and with me at the controls is my co-host,
John Harvey, and welcome to the CPI report. CPI, that stands for Child Protection in Iowa. And we have a couple of guests today. We have one guest that will be taking the major portion of the interview process, but we want to let you know a little bit about what's happening in other places. Just because it's another state doesn't mean that the terror is any different than it is here in Iowa. But here is an individual who is ready to roll up his sleeves and say, enough is enough. You've taken my children. I'm going to call your attention to the fact that you're outside of the boundaries of law. You're outside the boundaries of reason. You're outside all kinds of civil boundaries, and I'm going to let you know something about it. We're going to turn to Don to introduce this gentleman from New Mexico. And just a second here. Okay, Don, introduce our first guest, would you?
Okay, this man is a parent, is up here in Des Moines doing this program from New Mexico. As we've told you many times, that we don't believe Iowa is the only place in the world that the system we call DHS, some places call it CPI and other names, but it's all basically the same. And here's a Native American Indian that had his children taken away, all unjustly. Many laws were broken. The judge just ran right over all his rights. And so he's here in Des Moines to explain his story, and he's got a lot of knowledge, and he's well versed in the court system, whereas the average parent we have on our program doesn't know basically anything about the law. They see things on TV, but it's totally different when you get into the court system and face the DHS. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Michael. Thank you, Michael, for coming on the air with us.
Okay, appreciate it. I'd like to announce that I am a Native American, registered by the federal government, and I also am medicine man, shaman, and high holy man. That is my status, and I am a healer, and maybe your definition you probably properly understand.
That means you help people with herbs and things to help them heal their bodies.
I'm a preparer of herbal combinations that help immediately the people that are in problems, numerous problems that modern Western medicine cannot help.
So it's something similar to a doctor, but you work in different ways to help the patients.
Yes, I do. I work with energy, the Creator's energy, and I have much success in my business and helping them so. And like I'm saying, I get many of the doctor's patients from far away, from the East Coast to the West Coast and other countries, and in Mexico.
Wow, that's quite a undertaking that you have so much concern about people's health. Okay, you want to tell us your experience that no parent should have to go through?
Okay, well, most of it was brought on by the pharmaceutical companies because I was checked out by a few of their investigators to see why I was healing so many people so quickly. I eradicate pain, I eradicate disease, leukemia, a lot of major diseases that the medical profession can't handle and eradicate from the system, from hepatitis C, cancer, and a lot of new diseases coming in. Okay, the situation that occurred was on approximately about June 18, 2006. I was treating an elderly woman for cancer from Kansas City. The sheriff's deputies came during that time for a welfare check that was emitted from her daughter. They entered the house forcibly, and they had no warrant or probable cause. And the patient answered the door, obviously, and she showed that she wasn't in danger. And the deputies had their guns drawn, and they created a lot of fear in my children. And there was it appeared that they were just terrorizing our family. They tried to forcibly interrogate my children. After warning, I gave them warning that we are Native American, and I was a registered Native American by the federal government, and I wanted an attorney to be present. The deputies wrecked into the room and took the herbs, and eventually just took my children. And my children, I instructed them would not talk to strangers. This is the way I've taught them most all their lives. They accused me of numerous things, false accusations. The major accusation that they gave was that I wasn't taking my children in at the public school during the summertime. This was June 18th, if you recall. And they said I had no food. I had explained that we were moving. And they said, well, you have no books here. And so the major was that I was depriving them of education in public schools. Even though they were let known that I was homeschooling. I had homeschooled my children for numerous years. I also had a homeschool teacher that was a supplemental teacher that I paid additional monies to, so I could go ahead and get them all the education I could within them. I taught them about our culture, our ways. I took them to different places, powwows and spiritual meetings. And I also continually alerted the state that we didn't believe in Western medicine and vaccinations to be administered because they're harmful. These are our ways, our beliefs, and we did not believe anything in the Western culture. And any problems that arose, I would take care fully of my children because I have those abilities to do so. The court ordered psychological evaluation and drug testing. I was never cited with any criminal activity in regards to my children, and there was no unsafety ever alleged that occurred with my children. The only thing they majorly went ahead and pursued in prosecution was educational neglect. I attended court-ordered parenting classes. I complied with that because that didn't conflict with my ways and my beliefs. I brought these statements and beliefs into the courtroom, and I had these beliefs, and it wasn't just a new belief, because like I'm saying, I had a similar problem come about 10 years prior, where we were invaded. They moved into our home, or mobile home, or our RV home, and they had no warrant to come in. They forcibly took my ex-wife, myself, my children away from us. Without a warrant, they broke in the city of Boise, Idaho. During that period of time, thereafter, we were accused at that time of following a woman that had followed through with a falsified complaint stating that I and my children, my ex-wife, we were following her. We were stalking her, approximately about 90 miles away, which we never were. And during the time she alleged, this is approximately about the month of October, my RV was off wheels and at a mechanics for an entire month. It was a total fabrication, which we had to go ahead and end up incarcerated.